What's up, light bearers? Welcome to Light Tap, a Vivid Set podcast. My name is Melissa.
And I'm Emily.
And today we're talking about mental health. This is going to be a hard topic. And again, this is just a light tap into the subject. We're not really diving deep into it. We're just going to have a conversation, basically. Mm-hmm. And we are going to try to be the most respectful for everybody that is dealing with this. We know that this is not such a funny
topic subject.
It's heavy, but it's much needed. And so that is why we decided to talk about it in this episode.
And then again, we just want to preface by saying that we're not professionals. If you are seeking professional help, please talk to your doctor.
Yes.
If you have a therapist, if you don't trust in them, you can always confide in a friend, your parents. But please seek help. We are not professionals.
Exactly.
But take everything that we say with a grain of salt. Some of these things are our opinions, and some of them are based on what we read on the Bible. So we just want to preface by saying that first.
Yes, and definitely, again, that is our opinion. It's not like these are just straight facts. We're just having a conversation. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to read today's Bible verse, and it's Matthew 11:28 through 30. Emily will read it in English, and I'll read it in Spanish.
All right. It says, "Are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me, get away with me, and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly."
Y en español, Mateo 11:28-30 dice, "Ustedes viven siempre angustiados y preocupados. Vengan a mí y yo los haré descansar. Obedezcan mis mandamientos y aprendan de mí, pues yo soy paciente y humilde de verdad. Conmigo podrán descansar. Lo que yo les impongo no es difícil de cumplir, ni es pesada la carga que le hago llevar."
Oh.
I know. I chose these specific translations because they really said a little bit more than just they gave a little bit of background.
I don't know.
They gave a little bit more questions. They kind of really just face you like.
I don't know if you felt the way I felt, but for this specific version and these verses, I felt like they were at the same time, they were equally both heavy and light at the same time.
Yes.
Because I was like, that makes sense. But also, oh my God, you're calling
me out. Exactly. Okay. And so today's podcast, I want to start with saying, we will talk different subjects and different aspects of mental health. Obviously, in our Salt and Light podcast and in Bear Group Food and all of these other ones that we have been talking about, we always tell you guys to look at your friends, check on your friends, and look around and see how you can be the difference to other people. But in this podcast, I really want to talk to those people that are dealing with something.
Do a heart check.
Yes, do a heart check on yourself, not on other people, but on yourself. And I really think these Bible verses,
they hit home. They hit that. Yes, they do.
They hit that. They're are you tired?
Yes.
Worn out.
Yeah.
Burnt out on religion. I love the part that it said that.
Yes.
Because even that sometimes can get to us.
It can, definitely, especially when you are so invested and you're so dedicated. Sometimes you forget that this is faith-based. It isn't just so much about rules, religion. This is what it has to be mandated. Don't forget that you have to be Christ-centered and in your faith, because that's what keeps you going.
Exactly. And so we are going to talk. The first question is going to be, Emily,
why are people not talking about their own mental health issues? Is it a sign of weakness or strength?
So I think I talked about this in Bear Good Fruits, but I deal with some anxiety that has, happened, and I have dealt with depression before. I've been suicidal before, and so that's things that I've talked about before in other podcasts. Or in other episodes, I mean. And I think that the reason now I'm more open to it because one, I'm 30.
You're like, I'm not no young thing anymore.
No, like
I'm still young, but like ya estoy
exactamente.
madura, you know?
Yes, like I am mature enough to realize and not just ignore it, right? But I think I want to put myself back in the space where I didn't want to talk about it.
Okay.
And the next question that I wrote down was, is it a sign of weakness or is it a sign of strength?
Okay, so for you, back in the day, not right now, back in the day, did you think that it was a sign of weakness or strength in that moment?
I felt like it was both.
Both, okay.
One, I felt like if I spoke up on me having depression or me having these thoughts of hurting myself, I felt like that was a sign of weakness, like I'm a punk, like I can't take it.
Oh, okay.
And then I felt like it was a sign of strength because I was like, I can't speak about these things. I have to be strong for my family.
Yeah.
I'm the one that they come to for solutions. So how would I say that something is wrong with me when I am the person to go to? So it was a sign of both.
Yeah.
And I think, and I think a lot of people that deal with mental health issues, I think that it's the same thing. I think it's like they don't want to talk about it because it's both. Like you feel weak that you have a problem, and maybe you have been like like Encanto.
The go-to
Encanto
person.
is my favorite movie in the world.
I think we watched it like 3 times now? Well, you watched it more.
Exactly.
Me myself, I watched it like 3 or 4 times now.
No, I watched it like 10, and I'm gonna continue to watch it. I freaking love that movie, and I love that movie because I could relate to like each sister in different areas. So like Luisa, La Fuerte, and like she holds it down for the community and for the family and whatever you're called to, like Ibas, and you take the peso of the world and all this stuff. And I'm like, I've been there. Yeah, I have felt that. And she was like, she just wanted somebody like there's a part like in her little song donde habla de Hercules, I think. Yes. Y dice like he can't quit. Like when did you hear Hercules say I don't want to do this? So in the same way, I felt like in many times that has been me. When could I say like, oh, I can't take this one. Oh, I can't be like whatever, a mom, a wife, or whatever I need to be, a sister or a daughter. Like you can't quit.
And I think some people, I think this may apply to you, where some people will be like, okay, mentally, I know that this is an issue. Yeah. I know this is a problem, and I need to address it, but I can't. Too many people depend on me. Exactly. And also, I'm prideful. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with me because I'm too good. Yeah. And I can deal with it. Yeah. I don't need to address it. Yeah. And it's like, and if you do admit it to yourself, then you're admitting that something is wrong with you. You know?
And that's not something that anybody wants to admit. You're like, yeah? No way. But yeah, and that's how I can relate to Luisa, right? And then what is the other girl, the
Isabella? That she needed to be perfect all the time.
I mean, I didn't mean like I didn't like her at first because she was mean to my girl, Mirabel. Yeah. But then I understood, like, it wasn't that she wanted to be perfect. It's that
she was demanded to be perfect.
Yes, by the grandma.
Oh my God, did you see? It was so subtle, but it was just this one scene when they're all sitting at the table, and the grandma, she's coming over, and she asked, I forget her name, the one that has, like, supersonic hearing. She asked Dolores. She asked Dolores, like, what did he say or what did he think? And she's like, he wants to have
like
5 children. Yes, 5 babies. And like she obviously gets flustered and she has like little flowers coming out of her head. Yeah. They're all little pink, beautiful flowers, and there's one little white flower. And if you notice, the grandma comes over and plucks it off of her head and throws it on the ground.
I didn't see this.
She needed all the flowers to be pink because that one little white flower made her imperfect.
I did not see that.
Yeah. So sometimes
I know.
So sometimes it's little things that we may not even notice that may affect us, and if we don't address them right away, they can have lasting consequences in our future. You know?
Yeah. And that's the importance of like you saying something, like you speaking up and saying, you know what, I can't take this.
Yeah.
Yes, I am the person to go to for solutions, but not today. And
It's
set those boundaries. Or like somebody, you know, wanting you to be perfect. And normally those are our parents that they want us to be perfect. And I get it. I'm a parent now. And I will want my child to be perfect because...
as perfect as he can be.
Exactly.
You know?
But at the same time, I'm aware that I cannot put all that pressure. And as a daughter, I also want to set boundaries. Like, hey, I know that normally I am perfect, but I want you to know the me. Like that I deal with stuff too. And then... you know, like it's just it just you have to speak up. I understand that some of us again could see it as a sign of weakness or strength, and we want to take pride into how good we can handle things, but it's also strength to be able to come out and say, hey, I have a problem.
Because sometimes I think I've had this before, I don't know if you have, but sometimes we just bottle up our emotions and we're like, well, I can't cry right now. This is not the right time. Or I can't deal with this. I'll deal with it later. And then when all of those emotions pile up, you're going to be driving on the freeway. And you're like, all of a sudden, you're like, why am I crying?
Yeah.
Because it's too much and your body can't even handle it. Your mind is way too stressed out and you're overthinking. And before you know it, everything just comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think maybe even like have like a regular cry. Like even if you I am the type of person, again, because of situations in the past where I don't cry. Not even when I'm by myself, I don't like to cry, but I have realized now that if something bothered me to the point where I have this emotion, like I shouldn't be bottling it up, because then I start overthinking it, and then this is when it triggers like anxiety and depression and things. So just rather release those emotions. And if you have somebody that you can vent to as a friend, like look around yourself. Like you can't tell your business to just everybody, because sometimes not everybody cares, to be honest. But at least you can look and find one or two people that or maybe just one person that you really, really trust, and you're like, hey, even if, like, sometimes I think I have told you this, where I'm like, okay, well, what do you want me to be today? Do you want me to be your ear? Do you want me to be a mouth? What do you want? What do you want from me?
You're like, you've even told me... You even told me, like, do you want me to tell it to you bluntly, or do you want me to sugarcoat it?
Yeah.
Like, which one do you want?
Yeah.
And almost most of the time, almost every time, I always tell you, give it to me straight. Don't sugarcoat it. Because sometimes, even if I tell you, you're over here trying to be nice about it and sugarcoat it, I'm like, nah, just be real with me. Like, tell me, give it to me. I can take it. And sometimes she'll be like, you can't take it. And I'm like, I can take it. Just give it to me. You know, if it hurts me, I know that it's for my own good. I know that you're not going to hurt me con malicia. Like, you're not doing it to harm me, but to better me.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the thing, that as a friend, you have to, like, ask those things, right?
You got to gauge that.
Yeah. And not only that, it's like, even there, I have other friends where they tell me something, and me being Melissa, I am, like, the problem solver. If you come to me, is because we gotta get things done. We gotta fix this. And so
sometimes
I've had friends that have told me, I don't need you to be the solution.
Exactly. I want you to listen. Yes. I want to vent to you. Yes. Like, sometimes people just need an ear to listen to. But there's also those people that are a little bit more reserved, and they have social anxiety to the point that they can't talk to anybody. They may have like that one specific like outgoing friend that's like all talk, and they can talk throughout the whole friendship, but they'll still be quiet. And for those people, you know, even if you can't express that with someone, or if you don't have access to a professional, you can always write your emotions out on a diary, on a notebook, something. True. But something is basically just have a source of a source for you to vent out on.
Yeah.
Because even
That's
that
definitely
one little
needed,
thing,
yes.
even if it's just that one little thing, it makes the world of difference.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree. That's absolutely right. You know, there are people who just don't want to talk to anybody or who just straight up feel like they can't talk to anybody. And so, yeah, journaling will be good. Also, a therapist. I mean, you know, it's a stranger. They don't know you. They don't know your family. They're completely detached from you, and they're there for a reason. They studied. They went to school for a reason, and honestly,
they're not there to judge you. They're there to try to help you. You know,
so there's definitely help.
It's coming from an outside person, not somebody who's already in. It's somebody who's looking out, who can give you a different perspective on the situation. You know, that's why God says, like, throw all your worries onto me.
That is this verse, but in a different translation. Like, come to me, get away with me, and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest.
Exactly.
That part where I was like, hold up, there's fake rest.
So this whole time, you probably been thinking, oh, today's my day off. I'm going to do some self-love. I'm going to relax. And God's like, that's not relaxing. You got a whole bunch of problems over here that you're ignoring.
Yeah.
Give them to me. Don't worry about that. Don't even, like, think about it. And I got it. But you're probably like putting a Band-Aid on it and be like, no, I'll just take a quick break and then I'll get to it. But it's still in the back of your mind. But God says, don't even put it in the back of your mind. I am the back of your mind. Give it to me. You know, and he's such a gentleman that he won't ever like force himself on you. He'll be like, I'm asking you, not like, you know, trying to like invade your personal space. I'm not trying to invade your mind, your heart. I'm asking you to come to me whenever you're ready. I'll be here. You know?
Yeah.
Oh.
I know. And so, I mean, you know, even like in the sitting down and preparing and knowing that this was going to be our topic for today, it was a little bit like we were nervous, right?
Yeah.
We were nervous as to just because we know that this is a real hard,
it's a delicate topic.
Yeah, it's a delicate topic, and so we want to make sure that we're respecting everybody, like we said at the beginning. And so I do think that whatever platform you do have, whether that's on Instagram, on Facebook, on your job, your family, whatever type of platform or surrounding that you have, I think it's important for us to talk about mental health, that you're continuing, even if you're not the person who is struggling with mental health. I think that it's important for you to speak up on these issues, because you never know who around you is struggling with it, that needs to hear that you are open enough to have a conversation with. And then you, as a person who are struggling with mental health, you also use your platform. Trust me, I think that I think I've told this to a couple of friends, is that sometimes we go through things not just to like go through things by ourselves, but because eventually we're gonna help somebody out. And so you speaking up and saying, hey, my name is Melissa and I struggle with XYZ. You never know who around you. It's like, hey, I'm struggling with XYZ. Like, let me somehow follow you or reach out to you.
Let me get close to you so
we can relate.
Yeah.
And you can fully understand me because you're going through the same thing, and somehow together motivate
like,
each other.
She can understand me.
Exactly. And so I think that you should use whatever platform you have to speak on mental health.
And it doesn't even have to be with you just like talking about it. Like, you can even post about it. Like, you can find like pictures, or there's like, I know that there's one specific account on Instagram that it's my therapist says, and it's jokes.
What?
Yeah, I thought I sent you things from them all the time.
I know. I just read the memes. I don't read out to the people.
So it's like little jokes. But I remember I posted one of my stories once a long time ago, and I remember my cousin reached out. She's like, "Why do I feel so attacked?" And it was about something we had just talked about. So you never know whether it's a joke, whether it's a comment, whether it's a story, whether it's you actually talking about an experience in your stories in your life. Something will hit somebody, and you never know if because of something that you said, something that you posted, may just open a door to somebody that needs help,
Yeah.
that may not have ever reached out to you before.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And so we also want to encourage you to to take all the measures that you need to take to help you if you are dealing with any mental health issues.
Yeah, that could be with therapy, with a professional. That could be talking to your doctor if you need medications,
Talking to friends,
Yeah.
talking to your pastors, going on Reddit. A lot of people are active on there. Like, you'll get a different perspective.
It's so crazy. Reddit is such a special place for me. I'm just like, you know what? People on there are so helpful. They have so many different views and opinions that you may have never even thought about.
Yeah.
And you're like, I never thought about it that way.
Exactly. They make you realize things that you're like, what? Like,
exactly.
I wouldn't have known this. And with that said, we're gonna go to our favorite part of these episodes.
Y'all already know. What is our favorite subreddit?
Am I the asshole? All right. You wanna read the story?
Yeah.
Okay,
so this title is Am I the asshole for getting angry at my spouse for trying to seek unsolicited mental health resources for me after opening up to her?
That alone, it's like, I mean, I think you answered your own question, person. Male.
Because imagine he vented out to his wife about something that he was going on with in his own mentality, right? And she did her due diligence. So she was like, okay, well, let me see what I can do. Let me see, since I feel like maybe I can't help you, which I'm assuming, right? That she was like, let me see if I can find help some other way.
Exactly. Yeah. And then as a marriage, you're like, in sickness or in health, I'm gonna be like your ride or die type of thing.
Exactly.
I mean, not a ride or die. I don't like that version anymore. But you know what I mean. Like, you're gonna stick it out through there. So
stick it out through the end.
Okay, let's read.
Okay, so it says, I, 35 male, have struggled with various bouts of depression and anxiety pretty much my entire life, and am very introverted. As a result, I have become very good at bottling up emotions and feeling unconsciously and building walls so that to outsiders I may appear normal and happy. I know it isn't healthy, and I've been to therapy before, but a few bad experiences with my therapists and counselors have left me extremely distrusting of them. I also hate the thought of people worrying about me. Yeah. So not even my closest friends or family are aware of my struggles.
Please speak up to your closest friends and family. You're not a burden to them. Like, I really want to say that. Like,
and that happens to a lot of people.
You're not the only one. Like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to be the strong one.
Yeah.
Let's keep reading.
Okay. My wife has always kind of known that I struggle with stress and anxiety and depression, especially in recent years with my job and having 2 kids under the age of 5.
Sure.
Recently, we had a deep discussion, and I let down my walls a little bit, and I told her the truth about my mental struggles and how I sometimes have intrusive thoughts, and how while I experience fleeting moments of happiness all the time, they don't seem to dampen the depression as much as they used to. Sharing this made me extremely anxious, and I told her that the reason I don't talk more about them is because of my trust issues with outsiders, especially strangers. She seemed understanding. Fast forward a couple days later, and she asks if we can talk. I agree, but right away I feel dread. She brings up a document on the computer and starts reading this clearly rehearsed speech that hits all the hallmarks of typical counselor language. I listen patiently, but I'm very upset. After finally opening up and explaining my mental state and my trust issues with outsiders, in only a matter of less than 48 hours, she had already told someone else, a professional clearly, who had given her talking points. She hadn't asked me if I was okay with it or if I wanted it. I felt so betrayed. I listened until she finished, then told her that I was not going to engage with this conversation because I felt my trust had been betrayed. She kept pushing, telling me how worried she was and how she had done nothing wrong. She wanted me to answer some probing questions. I told her if I would, I'm sorry, if she could swear she wouldn't be discussing them with anyone else, she remained silent, which was all the answer I needed. I know her heart is in a good place, but I just feel like the trust I had is shattered, and the walls are now back up even stronger than before. I know she means well, but I didn't ask for her help, just her support and empathy. Am I the asshole for feeling so upset about this? Edit, just a quick edit. For anyone who says maybe I am wrong about her talking to someone else, I did later confirm that she did in fact talk to a counselor and a member of her women's group for suggestions. You look like you want to say something, so I'm going to let you start first. I'm going to let you start first.
No, I want to ask you.
Okay.
Based on what you read, we're
Yes.
not going to say what the people told this person yet.
Okay.
Based on what you read, do you think that he's an asshole?
Okay.
The asshole. Not a asshole. The.
asshole. In between them two. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I think he's the asshole,
Uh-huh.
but I don't blame him. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. I think he's the asshole because he said it. I know she has a good heart. I know she's coming with good intentions, but I didn't ask for her help. Again, he probably just wanted her to listen to him, you know? And I do understand that. But in my experience, okay?
Uh-huh.
In my experience, and you know this,
Uh-huh.
okay?
Uh-huh.
Whenever,
Speak your truth.
I'm speaking my truth. Whenever somebody is trying to confide in you, even if they're just trying to just be heard, there's a little thing in the back of their minds that is seeking help. It's crying for help, but they don't want to ask for help. They may not even want it. They may not even realize that they want it. I don't know if this was this man's situation or not.
Yeah.
But probably because he even said it himself, I have such a hard time opening up, whether it's to strangers, and even just opening up to his wife. It seemed like a big deal for him, you know? So probably this was his way of like, okay, I want to talk to you. You know, I feel like I can at this moment, but I think she moved too fast. Maybe he wasn't ready for the help. This was a stepping stone for him to be like, I'm going to work my way there, you know? But to me, I'm like, okay, well, now I feel like the wife, you know, I feel for her because she did honestly try to help him, and he's just completely shut himself in. So who knows if, pobrecita, she may not even ever feel okay to help him again, because she may feel like, damn, like, if I try to help you, like, what reaction are you going to have next time? You'll never be able to confide in me again, you know? But that's just how I see it.
And so the way that you saw it is how people saw it, and
Really?
they said that he's the asshole, right?
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, I want to hear why. That's what I said. I know she has something to say.
I think the wife is the asshole.
Okay.
Here
Is it because
I know.
I know.
person who's like against.
You're what the saying says. You're the devil's advocate. You see both sides.
I don't
you
like
know?
that phrase.
I know,
you.
but again, it's a phrase.
Yeah.
But I had a feeling, but I was like, I want to hear.
Yeah, let me tell you why.
Okay.
One, he says that he has confided, he has gone to therapy, he has gone to different counselors, but somehow he was left extremely distrusting of them.
He had bad experiences.
He had bad experiences. And so then he said, I also hate the thought of people worrying about me. So not even my closest friends or family are aware of my struggles. So that already is in the back of his mind that he doesn't want to be a burden to his family or friends. Somehow he felt in a moment that he was able to trust his wife and let his guard down a little bit, to confide in her a little bit. He didn't even go to the full extent of telling her everything that he felt. He just tested her with a little bit. And in that little bit, dice aquí él que ni pasó 48 horas. Where was it?
No, it's more down.
Okay, right here. After finally opening up and explaining my mental state and my trust issues with outsiders, in a matter of less than 48 hours, she had already told someone else. If you, as the wife, knew this man has gone to therapy. I'm pretty sure that he came back and told you, hey, I'm not going to therapy anymore. I don't want to do counselors anymore. I've let strangers in my life, and somehow they have made me feel like I can't trust them. But here I am confiding in you. And in less than, you knew all of this information, and you still went and you told a stranger? When you know specifically that this man feels some type of way against them right now?
Yeah.
Why did you move so fast to do that?
That is and weird.
I get it. I get it. Like you said, yes. I do think that he, in the back of people's mind, whenever they're trusting in somebody and venting to them about something, they are saying, like, in a way, I need help. I would like help somehow, some way, right?
Even if they don't outwardly
help
say it.
Comes from different ways. Like we were just saying before, do you want me to be a mouth? Do you just want me to be an ear? And at this moment, he just needed an ear.
And that's what I said. Like, probably this was his first stepping stone to opening up even more.
Exactly.
But because of this,
do I think that she did fully wrong in seeking help for him? No, I don't think that.
Yeah.
I just don't think that it was the right time. I think that she should have allowed him to be like, I trusted you with this information, and you respected my wishes in not bringing strangers into it. And so now here I am, and I'm going to trust you again. Exactly. And then I'm going to trust you again. And then you could have, as a wife, you could have been like, hey, I know that you have trusted me with this information. However, I'm not a professional. How about if we both go together and sit in a therapy, in a therapy session together? Like, I can just be that support that he needed, which he was like... What did he say? He said over here, like, he just wanted the support or something. Where is it? Okay, I know she means well, but I didn't ask for her help. Just her support and empathy.
Yeah.
He didn't need anything else.
Question, though. Did he make that clear to her? Did he tell her, like, hey, I want to talk to you? Like, I wonder if he just talked, or if he was like, what do you think? Or what are your opinions and thoughts about this? Like, I wonder if he made that clear.
He didn't. But even then, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. Because most of the time when I'm talking to you, if I'm talking to my cousin or my mom or whatever, I'm like, what do you think?
Okay, but you're telling me what I think, right? So then that gives me an opinion. I would like to tell you whatever advice. But I just think that if you were going to do something about it, I think you should have asked the person.
That too.
Unless they're like, hey, I really think I'm going to hurt myself tomorrow.
Then yes.
I have a plan, and I already bought the things that I needed to buy to make it happen. Absolutely. You don't need no one's permission.
No.
Go and do what you need to do to help this person. But I think if he's just opening up a little bit, and she knew that, because my wife has always kind of known that I struggle with so-and-so. So I just feel like she should, if she was going to do something, she should have asked him. I think she should have waited a little bit, let him trust her a little bit more, and then I think that she should have been like, hey, I found a counselor. Would you be willing to go? I'll be right there with you, holding your hand or supporting you. Like, I'll take you. We ride together. You tell me how you feel. Like, I'll watch your back type of thing. Like, I'll see things of this counselor therapist that probably you didn't see. Like, nah, we gonna trust them, or we're gonna trust them. Like, I'll be that person.
Exactly.
So I think that he's not the asshole. I think he's entitled to feel how he feels because he's been betrayed before.
Which makes sense. I mean, if you've already been burned once, why would you want to get burned again?
And then it's like by your wife. I don't know.
That too.
I felt like I'm sorry, ma'am. I know that you meant well. And as a wife, I will probably want to do the same thing, like help my husband or whatever. Yeah. But at the same time, I can put myself in the situation of the man, and I can be like, nah. Like, now he's not going to trust her again. And that is the scary part, because now he's really going to be alone, not trusting anybody, and just having to deal with whatever he's feeling by himself, because he feels like
he can't trust anybody.
Nobody respected his boundaries. And I don't like that. That's why he's not the asshole. Sorry, you're not the asshole. Your wife is. Sorry.
And it's interesting because he actually thought, he might be the asshole. He said, I might be the asshole for getting upset at my spouse for seeking mental health advice from outsiders, even after learning about my trust issues with said outsiders and professionals.
And I hate that. I hate that. Wait, no, I'm thinking I'm getting more angry. Because he's dealing with depression, anxiety, and PTSD. And now he put himself out here for strangers, to talk to strangers in a way también. Because, that's kind of weird, though. He says that he don't want strangers in his business, but he's posted on a Reddit where strangers is giving him advice. That's kind of weird.
Well,
hold up. I didn't think about that one.
It might be a throwaway account. If it's a throwaway account, then it makes sense,
Oh,
because
no. Because weird,
nobody really knows who you are. So it's a good way to stay anonymous and get opinions without actually knowing who it is. So I understand that, people do use a lot of throwaway accounts.
I guess. Pero también I feel like in this sense, everybody thinks that he's the asshole and are going with the wife. And now I feel like he's going to think even more like, he's going to be even probably more depressed because he's going to be like, I'm always the person who's in the wrong. It's adding to the fire, I think.
Okay. So I'm going to say something, okay? I want you to hear this because I just saw this comment and I need to read this. Okay. And I want to see what you say, okay? Okay?
Okay.
There's a really long comment, so I'm not going to read throughout the whole thing. But it says, she didn't go gossiping to friends. She spoke to a professional for support. It isn't a betrayal for a husband to open up about what he's feeling and then a wife opening up to aforementioned husband about what she's feeling. It sounds like you wanted her to be your free sounding board, and yet she wasn't allowed to share her feelings and experiences back. What kind of marriage is that? Not only does she want what's best for you, like any supportive and loving spouse, but I see no acknowledgement of what effect you have had on her and your children. To put it this way, if she came to me and told her side of my husband refuses to get help for mental health issues that affect our entire family and got angry when I tried to discuss this topic, claiming victimhood of betraying trust for wanting to talk to my own husband about an issue that affects the entire family, I tell her that she needs to save herself and the children as her first priority if he refuses to seek help. You're not a victim, nor are you a bad guy, but I think your knee-jerk reaction to cry betrayal instead of listening to what you put her through and the strain of the marriage and eventually your children will be is immature and myopic. Please get help for yourself, your marriage, and your children before you drive them all away. Now, it says, quote unquote, but I didn't ask for her help, just her support and empathy. Where's the support and empathy for your wife and what you put her through? And somebody says, I don't know who aside from the OP needs to hear this, but your partner is not your therapist, nor should they be. Hot topic. Tell me, what are your thoughts?
I'm
what are your First of all, just answer this question. Do you agree with the statement? Your partner is not your therapist, nor should they be. Do you agree with that?
Not to the fullest extent.
Okay.
I think that your partner, you definitely have to have you have to have some communication with your partner.
Yeah.
And if you're going through stuff, I think that your partner should be the first point of contact. If
sure.
not, then what is it? Through sickness and health, through richer and through poor. Like what? Through not speaking and not speaking?
Yeah.
What?
I think there's a difference between speaking and talking to seeking counsel and advice. I think there's two different ways of speaking. And I think his wasn't really looking for counsel. I think it was just talking. So I don't think that specific statement applies to him. He wasn't looking for therapy. He was just trying to talk. In my opinion, it didn't seem like he was looking for counsel. It just seemed like he was just trying to vent. So I personally half agree with that statement when it applies to the right time. In this specific time, I don't think he was looking for therapy, as that comment says. I think he was just venting. He was just trying to talk.
And not only that, I agree with that statement when it comes to like, let's say that he would have talked to her for months, right? And he's been like communicating this issue, and then she brings up the like, hey, let's go to therapy, and he's like, no, why should I go to therapy? I have you.
That's a different story. Draining.
Exactly, it's mentally draining for the other person because they're taking hits.
Exactly.
Okay, they're having to like hold it together also for
the whole family.
For the whole family, and also to support you. Maybe, nobody prepares you on how to deal with somebody while they're going through some struggle. Nobody prepares you for that.
Exactly.
But as a therapist, you are prepared for that. And you know how to, again, detach yourself from the situation to give your best support to that person.
You have educational resources, you have knowledge, you have the specific lingo and language to use for everything.
So yes, I do agree with that statement, and like, no, your person, your spouse shouldn't be your therapist, and it's not your therapist. I agree with that, but again, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Now, these people have me pissed because, again, you guys...
You're like, I don't know where to start.
Like, I get that we're thinking about the wife's feelings and her experience, but it's not about her.
Mm-hmm.
It's about this person that is struggling with things, that confided in his spouse, and she again went to somebody. Like, if she heard all of this information and was like, hey, this is too much, I need to find somebody that can help me. Take that information and apply it to yourself.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, they said this, but he's not understand that he's not ready to hear that.
I think that if she would have been able to differentiate, if she was able to separate and be like, okay, does this need immediate attention? Is it life or death? Or is it more like, I'm seeking help, I'm tired, but I'm still here, I'm handling it. Like, there's a difference. There's either an extreme or there's like a beginning. So I feel like, especially since he says that he's been dealing with this for a couple years now, and it's not like he's not aware of it, especially because there are children involved. And he's like, I know that this is an issue for me.
Yeah.
I know. And then he was probably like, maybe I am trying to be ready and talk about it and deal with it. And that was his, like I said before, his first stepping stone, and it kind of backfired on him.
And that's messed up because, again, if you're the person who's having these issues, you wouldn't want that to happen to you in that moment. Yeah. And so even these comments, okay, but I see no acknowledgement of what effect you had on her and your children. Excuse me, this specific language will have somebody dealing with anxiety and depression not say anything.
Oh, for sure.
Because again, I hate the thought of having people worry about me.
Exactly.
Not even my closest friends and families are aware of my struggles.
I don't think that person knew that would be like a what is it called? That would be a spark for that person to even like shut themselves away even more.
Yeah.
To just be like, this is more reason for me to just shut up and deal with it. And that's dangerous, because as soon as you decide there's nothing I can do, you've already relinquished all the self-control you had. You've already relinquished all of that responsibility and be like, this is it. I'm putting my hands up. There's nothing I can do. There's no solution. Nobody can help me. And that is when people get desperate.
Yeah. And they just want to find rest and peace.
Exactly. And you don't want to get to that point.
Yeah. And so, I mean, again, I just feel like if you're the person that people are venting to, be mindful or even ask. If you don't know what they need, ask them what they need.
Exactly.
Do you need me in this moment to give you advice, or do you just want me to be an ear and you can vent to me? And if they chose you, because people with anxiety and depression, they know who can handle their things and who can't.
Exactly.
If I see you that you don't have it together, I know how much heavy this is. I'm not gonna go to you and give you more. But if I chose you to express certain things that I need help with, is because I know that you can handle that information.
Exactly.
And so I think that if you're the person that somebody's coming to, just again, if you don't know, ask them what they need from you. And then if you're the person experiencing mental health, I know that society, as we can see, will deem you as an asshole for getting upset when your boundaries are betrayed. But I still think that you have to set your boundaries. You have to be clear in what you are needing from people. And I just want you to continue to feel confident in expressing how you're feeling and expressing what's going on. Just last week, literally a week ago, last Sunday, we had a Miss USA commit suicide. She jumped off of her apartment complex, and it was a surprise to everybody. Everyone was surprised because she seemed like so happy,
such a light in this world. Like
exactly,
she looked like she was carefree, happy. Like
she got it together. She was an attorney. She won such great accomplishment of being Miss USA. She represented the Black community very well. She represented curly hair people very well.
Everything.
She was such a light, and nobody knew what she was struggling with.
It wasn't even a thought, because she carried herself so well, but behind closed doors,
nobody knew. And again, it's because you feel like
you can't talk to anybody. You can't rely on anybody. You can't trust. You don't have no confidence. You have no outlet to be able to express your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings.
And unfortunately, what her last post said is that her last Instagram post, her caption was, "May this day bring you rest and peace." So she was tired and she just needed some peace.
And she was like, this is my only way to get it.
That was her only solution. And I just want to say that is not your only solution. If nobody else understands you, know that God understands you. Know that he hears every cry. He already knows it all. All. So there's nothing that you can say. There's nothing that can come out of your mouth that will surprise him. And that ultimately, you can seek all the therapists. You can take all of the medications. You can talk to your friends. You can do it all. But at the end of the day, the only one that can give you that true rest, that true peace, is the Lord. And so we want to encourage you, if you are dealing with mental health, for you to speak up, for you to confide in somebody that you know that can handle that. And also, if you're the person, again, please make sure that you respect their boundaries. And then just trust in the Lord. He has you. He is there with you. He says, "Come to me." He's giving you that open door policy, like, hey, if nobody else can handle all that you have, I can.
He's like, this is what I do.
This is what I do. Exactly. Yeah. And so we just want to encourage you that this Sunday, we hope that this podcast may open doors and may open conversations within you and your friends and your family, and
help you be a little bit more mindful and a little bit more thoughtful of others' feelings and thoughts.
Yeah. And if you have no friends, if you like to tell yourself that you don't have any friends or whatever, we want to be your friends. You can DM us. We can have a conversation. You can put it in the comments, in the comment section, and we are here to listen to you. We are here to talk to you. We're not just some people on a video. We're actual people.
Yeah.
And we want to make a real connection with you. You're not alone. So we're here. And that's it. That's it for today's episode. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.